Welcome to the Bible Recap 365-Day Journey. This is day one. And if you've ever opened your Bible, read a full page, and when you close it, you thought, what did I just read? You are not alone and you're not behind. We're not just reading the Bible here. We're going to understand it. So my name is Ryan. I am a warrior for Christ. I'm not perfect, but I show up and fight every day. And for the next 365 days, we're walking through this together. Not at you, but with you. If you want to follow along the right way, go into the description. Grab the Bible Recap by Tara Lee Cobble. And there's a lot of versions out there, so if you don't get the exact one, that's okay. And you're going to pause this video, go read Genesis 1 through 3. I'll be right here when you get back, because this hits different when you've actually read it first. All right, let's break this down together. So it says, in the beginning, God created. That line sets the foundation for everything, because if God created everything, then he gets to define everything. What's right, what's wrong, what has purpose. That means life isn't random. You're not random. You're not here by accident. You're not a mistake. You were designed on purpose. And don't miss this. The first thing we learn about God is he's a creator. He creates, not corrects first, not punishes first. He creates. He takes chaos and turns it into order. Darkness becomes light. Empty becomes full. Confusion becomes structure. So God brings order, not confusion. So if your life feels chaotic, that's not coming from God. Now lean into this. Let us make man in our image. You were made in the image of a creator. That means you're not just alive. You were built to build things, to lead others, to create things, to bring order into your life and the lives around you. That's why doing nothing feels wrong. That's why drifting away from God feels empty, because you weren't made just to consume life. You were made to create in it. That idea you've been putting off, that idea came from God. That thing you know you should start, that came from God. That pull to lead your family better, that came from God. That's not random. That's by design. Now watch how this gets even more personal. God forms man from dust and then breathes into him. God didn't just create you, he got close. This isn't distant, this is intentional. You weren't just spoken into existence, you were formed with care. Then he places Adam in a garden. Not chaos, not stress, purpose. Adam had responsibility. Adam worked, he built, he took care of something. Work was never the problem. Work had meaning. The problem we have today is when people work without purpose. And then God says something that still hits today. It is not good for man to be alone. Even in a perfect world, you weren't meant to do life alone. So he created Eve. You were built for connection with God, with people. That's why isolation hurts. That's why loneliness feels heavy, because it goes against how you were made. Now, this part right here, it explains more than you think. We see Lord, it's all capitalized. That's God's personal name. God gave his name because he wants a relationship with you, not distance, not just rules, relationship. Now, watch closely, because this is where everything shifts. God gives one command: do not eat from one tree. That is it. One boundary and a world of freedom. Everything else is allowed. But what do Adam and Eve focus on? The one thing they cannot have. Don't a lot of us do the same thing? We focus on the things we can't have. We ignore everything good and chase that one thing we shouldn't. God's rule wasn't there to control them. It was there to protect them. But here's the real issue. They didn't trust that God was good. And this is where everything breaks. The serpent shows up. He's not loud. He's not forceful. He starts the question, did God really say? That's how it begins. Doubt. Then comes the lie. God is holding something back from you. That lie is still alive today. If I do it my way, I'll be happier. If I ignore what's right, I'll gain something. That's the same lie. It's been around since the beginning of time. Eve believed it, and Adam followed. And then everything breaks. Not just a rule, but order itself breaks. Sin enters into it. Shame enters. And then fear enters. And what do? They hide from God. Not because God changed, but because they changed. They feel shame, they feel guilt, and fear. Does that sound familiar? How many of us deal with that guilt and fear? You don't run from God because he left. You run because you feel unworthy. That's where shame lives. But don't miss this moment. God shows up, not to destroy them, but to find them. God says, where are you? Not for information, but for connection. And what did they do? They ran. God pursued. Before they fixed anything, before they made it right, he came for them. That tells you everything you need to know about God. He is just, but he's also merciful. He doesn't walk away from you, he chases after you. And here's the part most people miss: God wasn't surprised, he knew. Even in their failure, he already had a plan. So here's your moment. You're not broken. You believed a lie. You were made to build, but you stopped. You were made for connection, but you pulled away. And now your life feels off. That's not failure. That's just misalignment. So what do? You don't need a new life. You need to return to the truth. So go back to the beginning. You were created with purpose. God designed us to create. You were built for a relationship with Christ, with God. And even now, God is still pursuing you. Not later, but right now in this moment. If you found this video, that means he's pursuing you because he wants you to see this. And if you've ever felt confused reading the Bible, that's good because now you'll start to understand it as we go through it for the next 365 days. This isn't just a story, it's your story. So if you like this, subscribe, drop a comment. What stood out to you? And if you're following along and you read it and you deciphered the book, what did you see that I didn't? I want to do this to grow together. Tomorrow, we're going to go into Genesis 4 through 7. And trust me, it only gets deeper from here. So go out, be a messenger for Christ, and show up like he sent you because he did.